Sanbalani, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Green Pastures Coaching here online. My name is Tsofato Apani and I am sitting with my favorite Benji.
Tobela, and I am Mr. Tab.
So as usual, every Monday and Thursday, I will post a video on my YouTube channel and we speak all things relationship. I'm a relationship and marriage coach and I help couples rebuild, restore and renew their broken or challenged marriage. So if you'd like to join 50 Years in Marriage Club, it is 500 Rand per person, and all you do is send me your details or send me a request on this number, which is my WhatsApp number. It's 0810403402, and I will send you my banking details. On a daily basis, I basically give you tasks or activities that you need to do. These are designed to help you. These are designed to restore, rebuild, renew. You know, remember before the dating, about the dating stage, you know, in-laws, before we complain about friends and development stages that we are experiencing. Before then, and so forth. But basically, I help couples rebuild, restore, and renew their marriage, right? So today we're going to talk about 5 things that you can that can help you identify whether you are in a healthy or unhealthy relationship or marriage, right?
Top 5.
So we're talking about top 5. We'll see. Maybe we can just add some few points there. Initially, I wanted to play a game which is that explains things that kill the marriage, but we'll do it in our next video. That's not a problem. I still need to complete the cards before we can actually play the game. But today we are talking about 5 things that can help you identify whether you are in a healthy or unhealthy relationship. I think first let's just define what an unhealthy relationship is, or unhealthy marriage, and also define what is healthy, right? Before so Paula, maybe I can then ask you, what do you think is a healthy and what do you think is an unhealthy marriage?
Sure, a relationship, right? I believe. Oh, they say hi. Hi, guys, again, right? Oh, hi. Yeah. Okay. But not I feel
no, that's true.
That's true. Yeah. So, I understand for an unhealthy relationship, right? It's when it's a feeling where you feel that you are not one, or you are not engaged with your significant other, right? It's wow, God, I'm not home now. Yeah, in the moment ne? Like how honor when he's present and when you know you're happy, right? When he or she walks in, wow, you feel low. That's basically a sign of something in this place is not right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, for me that's that.
Okay, so if you are in an unhealthy relationship, that's when you will feel man, I don't want to be in the same space with this individual, or has a male
yes. Okay. Or like a simplest thing, like a call.
Yeah.
When he or she gives you a call.
So I'm saying, how do you define it?
Well, okay, that's how I define it. When someone, or when I'm not in that space, basically, I'm referring to me. I guess I can say that in this instance, that when the feeling of that sort of feeling, then I would know that I'm not in a
unhealthy.
Yeah, when I receive a call and then I don't want to call it, I don't want to answer. Yeah. What now?
And what's a healthy relationship?
You can't wait for her to call you, okay?
Okay, nice one.
Yeah, you can't wait for her call. You can't wait for her. You just can't wait to be in the same space, or to talk, or to do anything that you used to do together. You can't wait. You're always looking. I'm always, in this instance, getting like that. Can't wait to be with her. In this instance, I can't wait to speak to you. I can't wait to call you.
Of course.
I can't wait. Like, sometimes when you call that you're coming, and then go get Korean, and then they get what I'm saying. It's not her. Then I hear Kak, and then I hear this.
Hey, drama. Okay, I love it.
If I have to ask you then, the direct question, how do you know that that you are in a that side, that space of a relationship?
So I like to compare. So obviously the word healthy is oftentimes we raise it from a medical term to say when you are able to do things for yourself, like in terms of physically, and live your life and be happy with no diseases, then you are healthy, meaning who can carry you through, So this is the same thing when you are in a healthy marriage, meaning you are aware of whether things are working out or things are not working out, right? So it first begins with the awareness of understanding according to a sharp, according to a anxiety, or you're aware whether into right, and obviously the healthy has it's sort of like the ingredients or the recipe, you know. For example, who's got a disease, what's on certain symptoms. So in a healthy marriage, there are certain symptoms, or there are certain symptoms that show whether you are in a healthy marriage, which is what we'll be talking about. How do you really identify it?
Those kind of symptoms,
unhealthy, it's literally the opposite. So meaning when mentally, spiritually, emotionally, you are not in a right space. Something that you mentioned, when you feel like, I don't want to talk to this person, such as could be symptoms of something isn't right. However, right, just because you may identify yourself as someone who is in an unhealthy marriage, that does not mean that this is your root of divorce. These are symptoms, right? So just because you are aware that currently we are unhealthy, that doesn't mean it cannot be cured. It does not mean you cannot get treatment. It does not mean
end it off.
No, and it doesn't mean that we can't diagnose what is the actual root or what is the issue that's causing this unhealthy symptoms in your marriage, right? Sure. That's why the purpose is to rebuild, restore, and renew, right? So yeah, don't just because now you identify yourself actually and we are unhealthy, that does not mean divorce. It means we just need to change certain things within the marriage in order for a healthy marriage.
Can't wait to hear these. Let's go.
So from the topics or the points that we're going to make, do comment below and let us know which one of these 5 points that you have identified. Okay, this is where this is the symptom that we have in the marriage, right, or in the relationship. And like I like to say, because I am a coach, it is important to know now you are aware and because now we are aware that's right, what is it that you're going to do? What is it that you want? And therefore, what is it that you're going to do in order for to achieve the outcome or the goal that you want in that marriage, right? So, but I'll also repeat it towards the end. So, point number 1, let's go to number 1. Okay, we'll start from 5.
Five. Go deep. Oh, 5 go deep. 5,
yeah. 5, and then you're going all the way down.
Absolutely.
And the first one is accountability. Right? So, how we identify whether you are in a healthy marriage is your ability to be accountable, your ability to account for yourself.
Okay. Right? For yourself,
right? And what it means, at times, is that we make mistakes, and to take account is for you to look at yourself, be aware of and because I've made that mistake, to take the opportunity and apologize to my partner for the wrongdoing that you have done towards yourself and right? So taking accountability is very important for you, just to acknowledge the fact that right? That's the first point, taking accountability. What's a mistake? Do you understand? But it's not.
Take accountability. That's what you mean.
No. There are times where you were not aware that particular issue or problem or that action or that behavior may have caused pain towards your partner, right? And that's why we are not mind readers. We have to communicate when your partner has done wrong. I didn't like when you did 1, 2, 3, and this is how it made me feel. You understand? And as an individual, being aware of your partner's feelings and you take account for and then you apologize for that particular thing
and mean it.
Sometimes we do something and when you don't see the reason why someone to apologize. But at times you're just acknowledging the fact which is your partner, the issue or the behavior or the what you may have said. So it doesn't mean all the time I'm going to feel, because sometimes and now I'm going to blame you for everything and no. But I'm just acknowledging, even though I may feel you are being just considerate for your partner to say, okay, I didn't think it would so I apologize. You're apologizing for how it had made them feel.
That's accountability.
That's
number 5.
Number 5. I want to know from 1 to 10 how your level of accountability.
Personally, I can give it a 6.
Okay.
Or
the guy who sold himself to me, I would have expected that he would have said a 9 out of 10 or an 8 out of 10. There are parts where I've seen you do not take accountability.
Of course.
Right? Or sometimes it's more coming from a place of sometimes and then we would inform I don't like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but it could be we know wrong. Do you understand?
Yeah, so that's okay. But I think also this one comes from both angles. I can say 6, right? But whenever recipient, you don't see it as a 6. Like no, I don't.
No, I feel like you're lying.
It's not a 6.
No, I feel like you're lying. I think some of you are just buying.
No, but I feel like it's a 6.
Okay.
My level of accountability. Myself.
But it's fine.
You think it's supposed to be a 9?
No, I'm not saying it's supposed to be a 9.
But it's a 9.
I would have expected
a 9.
Would have been an 8 or a 9.
Okay, it's an 8 or a 9.
No, you decided one whether it's a 6. So at least I can blame you for certain things.
Of course. When I'll go a scorecard.
My level of accountability.
Yeah.
Coach, I can always tell you to suit me.
Jealous.
My level of accountability, I'd like to give myself 7, 8-ish. I think I do apologize against the poso. If I get a poso, I will also explain I didn't say that, or I didn't behave in that way, or whatever the case may be. Sometimes it's just I think sometimes it's also having to remind ourselves it's how the person felt, right? And you're apologizing for that. But at times your partner can also apologize for, okay, maybe I may have made a mistake, Niki Penika, because sometimes Penika do certain things.
But I'll give you an 8. Yeah, I'll give you an 8. Yeah.
Why?
No, the approach and manner of how you apologize upon something that you're actually aware of, right? Yeah, I'll give you an 8 on that one.
Okay.
Not fair?
I think it's fair.
Oh, fair.
It is fair.
Alright, cool.
On point number 4, number 5, 4, is
communication or
independence.
Independent, alright.
So how to identify whether you are in a healthy or unhealthy marital relationship is the level of independence, meaning there's a level of individualism even when you guys are still a union, but only individuality,
But then before how do you exclude it? I can't say include, but when individual within the unit, as things say we are one.
Okay.
Yeah.
The difference is, let's say for example, we are planning for by the end of the year, this is how much we should have invested. Okay, this is how money is going to work. For her things. But in other instances, this is what although people like to say that, but at the end of the day, the woman are told so I don't know why the pointer is made. To make the house look nice, but anyways.
I bet that statement or bad.
I think so too. Okay, so we're talking about independence, right? So meaning now we have sat down and we have created a vision of what we want. We've created a vision of what we want to achieve in the relationship. The union, meaning our vision, is still the same. It's an into one.
Right.
The individuality comes in. I am still whole and I'm still full and I'm still a human being. Meaning, meaning now when I want to go to a concert and like this, what's happening this Saturday, go Pace community commercial college, the conference
yes. Yeah.
So meaning that as an individual, I am okay with leaving you and you are okay with me leaving, and man, I'm not gonna call you every 2 seconds to say we have to go, and man, like good playing golf and I'm playing one.
Like how I left you on Sunday.
Where did you go on Sunday?
Oops, me and my mouth.
What was going on Sunday? Oh yeah, you went to a men's conference, and I was okay in the men's. It was okay in the men's conference, right? And you went into the men's conference, and I was okay with it. But man, I never go for like 2 minutes. And so that's where the individuality comes in. It's also to saying, you like certain things and I like certain things, right? Yes, I like hiking, I like running. It doesn't mean that you have to like those things, but it could mean you do it because of you love your partner, but also you're okay to stay at home and be, or we can still do it together and you're okay with it. But I mean, your true individual self is still whole even within the union. The union is about us planning, and the union is about creating the same vision. The union is about understand. However, I'm still Tseho, and Tseho with a certain vision, and Tseho wants to become this glorious and become this big thing and become this powerful thing, and still within the marriage.
Okay. Understand? I've learned.
Yeah, because at times, if just because of we are married and we are in union, does not mean
because you go there. You know, I think I do understand that how we are still one, even if we are apart.
Yeah.
You know, how you look like guy, negative guy, we still one. I still represent you from wherever I am, and you can still represent me wherever you go. In spirit, of course. So you've nailed it.
Of course.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, independence, being independent as an individual shows that you are in a healthy marriage. Because at times you find Batubabangwe who have experienced certain traumas where when they experience this love and bond with their partner, they always want to be around them and they feel uncomfortable to be apart. Meaning when the partner is not there, I feel sharp or panika, or feel like something will happen.
But if you're you think a lot
the insecurities. So at times it has to do with certain traumas that you have as an individual that you've experienced, and it would be very beneficial for you to actually book a session. And
of course, I was just about to ask, what should they do? What should we do? Or what should be done? So it's a session, but book a session. You have
of course. And the number is of course 0810403402 if you're experiencing that particular thing. I don't know, right? Have you ever been in competition with your partner?
Sure. In competition with my partner, I'm trying to think. No.
Okay.
Not that I've thought of, but I've never been in competition with my partner. No.
Yeah.
I.
So and it's also important when even though we are independent, competition can be one of the law that we end up doing.
Yeah.
Like, so we are union, yes, and we are still individuals, but there are times where couples compete and not do things from a place of a union. It could be in conversation, it could be about decision making, who's more dominant than the other. So these are the things that you also need to be aware of. When we are discussing certain things, how do we discuss them? Are we coming from a place of oneness, or are we coming from a place of individual? Like I'm an individual, and it also has to do with the way you perceive your partner.
Yeah.
You know, and what is it that you believe about your partner? You know, but at times we're not aware when we're actually in competition. Yeah. No, I'm not saying school so no, it's not school so public or private. No, but private no guys, we want the same goal.
It's about educated.
Yes. You understand? When you discuss how do we go, how do we move forward?
Use finances now. Like, So are you competing with me?
No, I don't have to compete.
Okay. Have you ever been in competition? Or have you ever competed? That's putting you under the bus here.
I know. I think I was not aware that this is now gotta be competition, because sometimes we want to have the final word, and sometimes like as we are discussing, it's not really, it's like we're not making a decision. Decision A, it's final or whatever. It's literally having
a discussion that will lead to a solution, to conclusion.
No. Meaning the discussion could be you have a certain opinion about what we are talking about. So you have your own opinion about what independence is, and I have my own opinion about what independence is. But just because the coach doesn't mean I have a better explanation.
Of course.
Yeah. So sometimes I may have the discussion to a point where I need to win the topic. Can't you know when the way we wanna get it's good sharp, and the way we wanna get good sharp, and also because it doesn't affect us in any way, it doesn't affect the relationship in any way, it doesn't affect our finances in any way. So we shouldn't be fighting about it. Do you understand?
Okay. But so didn't answer me. Have you competed? Yes or no? That's what I wanted to say.
Unaware, yes.
Okay, well done, coach.
Right. No, meaning unaware.
Okay.
I
like how you say it, unaware.
Yeah.
That's how it happens. I think we don't do it intentionally.
Purposely, yeah. But like who have certain personalities, right? And with other individuals who have certain personalities, but also computer from their childhood, but also computer from their adulthood, and because of that, then they aren't aware. Actually, even in my marriage, and now you are competing. You end up then competing within the marriage. You understand?
Yeah. No, that's amazing.
Yeah. So the third point is trust, right? So the third point to identify if whether you are in a healthy or unhealthy marriage or relationship is trust.
Trust.
Yeah.
Should be number one.
And it has more to do with your level of vulnerability towards your partner.
Mm.
Do I trust myself enough to lay out, to be naked more? Right? About whether my struggles, whether it is my pain, it is whether it's things happening at home, it could be about wana, it could be about anything. Am I vulnerable enough to communicate with you, to say, this is what's going on? Do I trust you enough to tell you?
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Obviously, that means when it comes to trust, you also have to open up. Being vulnerable, meaning I have to have not just an open mind, but I have to open up and communicate.
But should that level of communication begin because it has to start with someone, right?
Maybe I work at trust.
Yeah.
Communication is something.
Yeah. I'm just saying we're talking about trust, right?
Yeah.
So being let's just pick up from vulnerability, right? Being vulnerable to you, right? It needs to start somewhere between us two. So say one of the biggest thing ever, you know, or one of the biggest secrets ever, right? So that you can open up like, so this guy once said, you know, telling me this kind of situation, let me under level of finances or family, you know. So I think between us in a relationship, one of us has to start, huh? Or about any other thing as well, I guess.
About anything, and it doesn't have to be we're not on to Tom and not on to Tom. The question is when, meaning, do you trust your partner? It's not about you. When as an individual, do you trust enough that you can be naked and show your worst
behavior,
your worst and your best behavior, right? But and from pain to and you know, and as Linda, do I trust you enough for me to open up and lay out my pain and troubles and so forth?
Sure, that's very vital. Actually.
There are a lot of things that can break trust in the marriage, right? And it's when you do not keep, for example, promises. It happens a lot. Before marriage, we keep a lot of promises of what we say we're going to do, and after marriage, and those things stop. So, but to identify whether you are the symptoms to show that you are in a healthy marriage is you trust your partner with all your life. Okay?
I think that trust is very vital.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'd rather tell my friend than tell you. We'll have a topic of that sort. I'd rather tell my mother about what I'm experiencing now, or tell my friend or whoever outside, right? Than be vulnerable to you.
It's a bit easy again too.
Trust. What about saying enough?
Yeah.
You know.
Why would I feel sensitive?
Why can I say
you want to stay in this marriage, but I'm telling
maybe it might have been something that I've seen or the way you've reacted when I told you something before. Happy last time you came and the reflection answer so for the sake of peace, right? It is much. I rather or my brother,
and I think it's what I like what you just mentioned is quite important because it happens a lot, right, in marriages. But oftentimes I think it's a bit unfair because you judge, you make up, you paint your partner issue in one.
And it takes a long time.
And sometimes it could be number one and two, and it was not the right time, right? And at times it could be the way you communicated the challenge, or sometimes if I find out that I've got cancer, what would you do? And then we'll talk whatever the case may be. And because now you think because the person and you think in all other things for example, maybe you made an example about trauma. Let me tell you, my friend told me 1, 2, 3, and then now you have an opinion. But if it was you coming to me and telling me, I would have not reacted the way.
You understand? Because there was a third party involved in it.
You understand? Maybe because now and I love you and I'm compassionate and I care about you, I'm going to react different. But a lot of couples make this big mistake of painting their partner because of one situation. They feel their partner acted in a certain way. It's like, I never tell him or tell her anything. We are act or behavior in this way. And so now I've got this perception about you and
it stays there. So I think they should come to coach if they have a challenge. Trust in a relationship. Coach will hold them.
Of course. Speaking about trust, also the trust that's built within marriages also comes from a place of whether do you accept your partner as they are, right? At times when I'm saying that you may dislike about your partner, and that energies don't die, right? And your partner can be very aware of these certain things are dirati or your partner out dirati kayena, and therefore they will refrain from telling you certain things because of you've got maybe withholding judgmental. So but oftentimes in a relationship where things are very healthy, meaning I accept you and Mr. Tap the way you are, and you accept me the way you are not trying to change me so that I can suit I accept you and I love you just the way you are. So in those instances, a lot of those marriages they thrive for 50 years in marriage because of very simple acceptance. But I want to also make this point for him. If as I don't accept myself, right, with certain parts of me, and I don't accept them, right, I'm going to continuously need validation. I'm getting insecurities, and I want you to always validate. And sometimes I'm gonna go, sorry, do you think this dress is nice? Can we change any? Give example, or and maybe what do you think? Do you understand? And it's not coming from like I trust myself, I believe in myself, and I'm confident in myself. It mostly comes from a place of lack and self-esteem, a very low self-esteem. So if I accept it, right? I'm going to now personalize it. There's something
it's going to affect you.
And it's very difficult. It's very it's not nice to alone, and you constantly have to validate your partner. You are doing well. I'm going to affirm. I'm going to show you appreciation. Carry on Mr. Tap. When you guys really go to FM, well done. You did well. Understand? Now I'm just the cherry on top by affirming and appreciating what you have done. But let's say when you don't feel it was good, it was not good enough. I'm like, this was good enough. When I give validate and tell you, you did well.
I think that helps as well. I think that that's something. Now I may not have seen it that way, right? And then you validating it gives me. You just give me that light. And actually, if my partner says we will illustrate, then kudos. I think it also assists some way on that level.
No, very true. Also, from a very much differentiator.
Of course,
who've got a low self-esteem. They constantly want to be shown
or validated.
I understand that. And I think it's obvious, but it doesn't mean correct. I'm not saying I don't want you to tell me, today's show was good. I'm not saying I don't want you to end, but deep down inside of me, I know it was good. If I really doubt it because something happened, but maybe mostly from a person who's got a low self-esteem, you need to pour into someone who is empty.
Or not empty, because you are feeling it in God. It's like that test that you once did. I think they can check it out and then they can see that. Hopefully that test.
Which test?
In Ridia, that thing. Love language. Something of that. So, but let's move on to Akayo. Trust. I've got to go work over one day. Yeah, it's a topic on its own.
No, it is. Definitely it is. The second one, going all the way up, we are talking about respect, right?
Yeah.
So what makes you think respect is important? The marriage is healthy.
I don't know. The reason why I cannot able to
you guys are in a healthy marriage.
Relationship, right? It makes me feel like who it reflects who I am, right? In this specific relationships, right? It shows that my role that I'm playing as a man is valued, and it's also this means I'm adding value to this relationship that. If I'm then respected, I'm doing enough. I'm well accepted and I'm doing well in this role for me as a man towards this relationship. People talk about respect, so yes. That's why I say it's very, very, that's how I see it, Keeps me calm.
I love that. So why respect shows, when you guys respect each other, shows that you guys have a healthy marriage, is to respect one's thoughts, to respect your partner's decisions, to respect your partner's choices, right? Shows that you are accepting but also respecting their perspective of certain things. Do you understand? So because Sehu comes from a different background from what Mr. Tap background is Mr. Tap right? And for that particular reason, there's certain things and how we want them is influenced based on our background, right? But accepting each other as accepting you the way we look at things, and you and us navigating how we want to live our lives within the marriage, respecting each other of certain decisions. Do you understand? It shows we are most likely to thrive. Why? Because now I don't have to constantly want to change everything about you, change the way change the way you behave, and change what understand. Yes, there's certain things I may not like because like for example, maybe we'll have a discussion or issue about cleaner and so forth, right? Meaning we have to navigate the way the preferences and so forth. So it's very important to also respect each other's perspectives. It goes back to what we spoke about being independent and that individualism. It still it stands out, and yeah, and not wanting about who's right and who's wrong. I'm respecting your point of view and it's okay. You're respecting my point of view and that's okay.
Yeah.
You understand? So that is why respect is one of it's important. Okay, so last but not least, which is point number 1, which is communication.
Yep, communication.
Yeah. Yes. What makes you think communication is important? Communication. When you say communication is healthy in the marriage, what does that mean? What does it mean to you? Or how does it look like?
Sure. I believe a healthy communication. I can reflect it. I can say the feelings so it's how you would have felt when I utter something to you, right? Whatever word that I utter, is it something that breaks you or it makes you all the time, over and over again. So a healthy communication is when also I say something and you comprehend and you represent and you communicate back in a positive way, right? That's I can say that's number 1. And another way I can prove that we are in a healthy communication, it's your response all the time. A healthy communication, a healthy response means that we are actually having a healthy communication in a relationship, because depending on how I utter, it's how you respond, and vice versa. So if the utterance is good for both, then we are a very, very happy relationship. I think that's one of the things for me. Yeah. For me, yeah, I a happy relationship in terms of communication.
I think one of the things really important that you mentioned is how does that particular thing make you feel? Meaning in whatever that we'll be talking about, discussing, whether but how, of course, the how communication will result in how you are going to feel about it. So that means the how of a healthy communication is meaning that even though I may be angry about what you have done, but it's like your communicator does not degrade or diminish your partner. Right?
Oh, that's amazing. Yeah.
You speak with respect. You still speak like not to degrade. You don't verbalize. You understand?
You don't make an example because something when people speak, I don't know.
Like what?
No, not you. But I'm just saying because it's something.
No, I want you to make an example so that I can get to understand what are you talking about.
I saw there was a show that my mom's likes calling me on these shows, and this person said, it was a woman. I had an example like come on now, what look how whole. What? You understand? So, but they're solving. So, how can you solve a problem in communicating, but then you're also insulting in between?
No, I like that.
That's what I meant.
It's actually a very good example.
Yeah, can you communicate well, but also solve a solution? Just couple like other things. Just couple like other things. Yeah.
And degrade.
Yeah, I love that you said that degrading part of it.
Communication also has to do with, am I able to communicate my needs, my wants, my desires to understand? Besides how it's going to make me feel, but can I talk to you? Can I have a conversation with you? Can I communicate my desires and needs without me feeling and refraining from saying certain things because gets harbor and I not me not wanting to be judged by you. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So that's another thing that shows that you guys are in a healthy marriage. Just the way that you communicate, and meaning you can fully accept your partner's whatever they are bringing into the table, and without now, like you were saying, insulting the person after more. I got one little time, if I say something, so next time you'll use it against me.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, communicating my needs, my wants, my desires, and you know, and because we've got expectations, so it's important that we have to communicate those expectations.
Of course.
And it doesn't mean they will be granted, but if they are not granted, your manner of agreeing, of declining, and how it's going to make me feel, shows how you guys are in a very healthy marriage.
And I also want to say something in terms of communication, right? Yeah. I think it's also important to be afforded the time to communicate, right, within a relationship, right? It's o mongwe ene o kgone go bolela hane jwale, and then o mongwe ka re ah mapele man, you understand, or next week can you talk next week about this thing, you know, can I be equal, you know, let's afford one another time to communicate, you know, it's always nice, or do you have time tomorrow, can we talk about 1 2 3, no true, let's do this, you know. Those are the things that I believe it's very vital in terms of communication. Yeah. Can I communicate 1 2 3 to you? Can one be afforded that time to communicate?
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. That's lovely. Okay, so that was our last point.
Sure.
Like I always say, because I'm a coach, I will always have to communicate things that are going to help you rebuild and restore your marriage. So out of the 5 things that we have mentioned, which one of the 5s are you a culprit of? Like, which one of the 5 do you lack in? That's the first one. So now you know whether you lack in communicating or you lack in not taking accountability. You can't even say sorry, you know, for example. So now you know which one you are lacking in. The question is then, what are you going to do? I would like to courageously suggest take an action that is going to help you overcome that particular thing. So it could be you are an individual who doesn't like to take accountability. I would like for you to take the courage, because it takes a lot of courage to say I'm sorry. It takes a lot of courage to apologize, to say I apologize for making you feel small. I apologize for 1 2 3, especially if now your ego is say paham, you know, and you've got a lot of pride. It takes a lot of courage, but have the courage to communicate to your partner about to communicate where you did wrong and how you want to fix it. So yes, because now you know, write down how you are going to lungisa it, right? And if there's other things that I may have not mentioned, of course there are a long list of things that suggest or show that you guys are in a healthy marriage, but we just spoke about we decided to only speak about the 5. And according to you, what do you think makes a healthy marriage? What are the other symptoms or recipes or ingredients that make the marriage healthy?
And I just love the way the simile that you had, right? Or like this symptom, right? If I was like go doctor or something, right? While and then you about weak, weak, we feel it's all a baguette. Do you understand? So it's a great referral to a relationship that if you don't utter how you feel to your partner, I know, sure.
Yeah.
What a show.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for being with us. So don't forget, please like, subscribe, comment, engage with us onto our socials. And if you'd like to book a session, a coaching session with your partner, it's 500 Rand per person. And the marriage club is also 500 Rand per person. So, okay, the difference is, of course, With the marriage club, I give you a task to do every single day. This is just to help you rebuild, restore, and renew your marriage. And yeah, and so that's it from us from today. I will see you, of course, on a Monday,
Yeah.
7 p.m. I will make sure to post and edit this before
Before load shedding.
before load shedding. Saying load shedding, actually, we are on load shedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye, and I love you. God bless you.
I need to book a session.
You must book me.
Ne?